showing out. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. We don't back down, this is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait and see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing out. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary.
I got metal running through my bones, a resurrection like a ghost. Hurricane, go ahead and blow. Where you could keep your white flag, I'll never fold. A shadow on a battlefield, a survivor never yield. A thunder, go ahead and shade. Don't run from the storm when I feel the rain. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. I got a fever in my blood, a falling embers from above. I feel the heat when the pressure blows, a wildfire that you can't control. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. With every beat on my heart, I'll be the light in the dark. You can't control this, I'm explosive. You can't control this, it's 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 explosive.
We're a racing family that you can trust on and off the track. So if you're looking for foundation repair, go online or give us a call to schedule your free inspection. If we fix your foundation and you mention Race On Texas, you will get a 1-year free subscription to the All Access Pass.
Our family started RVing a few years ago, and when I think about all those campfires and fishing trips and sporting events, these are memories that are going to last a lifetime. I want to help others do the same thing. Hi, I'm Kevin Smith, General Manager at the all-new Click It RV in Milton Freewater. People in this community are very familiar with this location and the great service they've always received. So the biggest question we get is, where is Keith? The great news is, Keith is still here.
I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen a lot of things come and go. Through all the changes that we have seen, one thing that has not changed for us is the quality of our service.
Buying an RV is a big purchase, but it should be a fun and happy experience. So whether it be in sales or service or parts, our mission is simple: be the best. From our team here at Click It RV in Milton Freewater, we invite you to come down and experience the difference.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
LSRTV on this Thanksgiving week welcomes you to a new era. Tonight, the Sim Racing Hub Winter Challenge Series ready to roll. As tonight is the Motor City Mayhem Twin 30s at the only great track in the Irish Hills of virtual Michigan Speedway. Welcome to coverage, round one tonight. I'm Wesley Outland. Jason Rockefeller is alongside. Charles Wooten will be handling our production inside the broadcast booth. And of course, Jason, we're ready to see what this Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winter Series will provide. One of the things I really like is Twin 30s, and you take the entire field at the end of race number one, invert them, throw them in the back, the winner goes to the rear. There ain't no number invert. It's everybody, and I like that. I think race two is going to be really interesting once we get race one out of the way. Good evening.
Good evening, my friend. And, man, it is going to be fun. Gives you that kind of that short track Saturday night vibe, you know, where you would have the first feature of the night, and then they would invert the field after halfway or with 10 laps to go or maybe with 5 laps to go, or even another feature, 25, 30, 35, 40-lap race, and invert the field. Gives those short tracks.
We came on the air. The most important thing is that invert. Of course, if you win race number one, you're going to go shotgun on the field in that second 30-lapper. Let's take a look at the weather conditions on the bottom right of the monitor. It is presented by Kaufman Creative, air temp at 83. This is something, Jason, we haven't talked about in a while because for the most part, for the Northwest, we've talked about a lot of night races and the temperatures drop. Triple digits. Look at this. 83 degrees air temp, 122 track temp in the virtual sim. Clear skies and a wind speed at 9 miles an hour. That's going to be interesting for sure.
Oh, boy, and it is going to be interesting to say the least, Wesley. That is so much higher than what your ambient air temperature is. And then with the wind speed just nearly getting to 10 miles an hour, this track is going to be loose. It's going to be slick. These guys are going to be just bundled up and going all over the place here. I know, obviously, we're hitting that 30, 20-degree weather here, Wesley, on the East Coast. Charles is sitting probably going to be cold pretty soon from the LSR TV production booth for sure as well. But it is hot out here today for these truckers. And boy, oh boy, like I said, they're going to be slipping. They're going to be sliding. And obviously getting into these corners is going to be really difficult. You put the power down through the center with these trucks, which it's really mainly with the fixed setup for these truckers. It's going to be a little tight. But with the track conditions today and obviously usually being full throttle, they're going to have some off throttle time. If they stay in the throttle longer, get back to it earlier, they're going to be slipping, they're going to be sliding, and it could create some controversy here tonight for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun for sure. And obviously, there is sponsors for this series for the Sim Racer Hub Winter Challenge. And we want to thank Aspiration Homes right out of the gate. They're the entitlement sponsor for the Motor City Mayhem Twin 30s here tonight at the virtual Michigan International Speedway. Thanks also to Delta Camshaft. Of course, we manufacture horsepower, thanks again to Delta Camshaft, and then of course Admin Box, and we'll get a lot more details and information lengthy about all these sponsors throughout the season here. So you see the drivers working their way into turn number 3 off the backstretch on the 2-mile tri-oval. That is the Michigan International Speedway. One of the guys of the Northwest, what do you know, from Win Racing, the Click It RV Bomb Speed number 23. There's Clifford. There's Toby Ritters. And obviously the Ritters family and everyone preparing for the Thanksgiving holiday forthcoming in the next couple of days. And of course, always great to see some names that we know from previous series running tonight as well, Jason.
Yeah, and Toby's been a really fun driver to watch this season for the Click It RV Fix Series and also the Truck Series. And he's been a very improved driver. Remember something, Wesley? Obviously, getting sidetracked with another series compared to this one. This was the great thing for Toby, because remember we talked about how in this offseason now with, the Northwest guys being off, is drivers like him and also Ryan Bloom, who's in this 22 machine here tonight. He's also running. This is a great way to make your racecraft better in different race scenarios and make you a better driver when you head into next season, and also really improve your sim racing career for sure, and he's doing really good.
Yeah, we're live again on iRacing on LSRTV, 4K Ultra HD quality. Right now, Toby Ritters right now locked himself into the top 5 right now at 4th. His first lap will be a 42.96. Now he's going to be 6th, actually. The first lap was a warm-up lap. And so right now, the man to set the bar is 41.71 for Michael Sturgill Jr., and now we're going to see what Ritters can do as he works his way through 3 and 4. Coming back to the tri-oval here. Got a little loose as he worked off the exit of the corner. Drops below the apron. See if his time will improve with about 5 minutes remaining on the qualifying clock. And Ritters will stay a lock on 6. 42.96. 40.296. Last lap was slow with a 43.84. Clinton Sneed on the racetrack, the SimRacerHub.com Toyota. He just finished up his qualifying lap. He'll be 7th, 43.30. Andrew Miller with the old Candyman Rowdy Kyle Busch throwback colors in the number 18 machine at Toyota's on the back straightaway now. And obviously, Jason, we got names that we know from the past races we've covered, like Toby Ritters, like Ryan Bloom. And then there's some new names, new faces, new places on this Sim Racer Hub Winter Challenge series here tonight. And we'll cover them for the next 10 weeks here on LSR TV.
Yeah, and it's going to be absolutely fun to say the least here. You just see all these different drivers. Here's Rhett Tucker right there in that number 99 machine, a driver obviously that we've never seen before, but that car has looked, or that truck rather, is a beautiful looking truck before, and boy oh boy, he is running a really high line here, going through 3 and 4 on his qualifying lap, trying to set himself up for what would be 1 to 2 laps of qualifying.
And actually, Jason, Rhett Tucker is, of course, for the RTR Esports, based out of Memphis, Tennessee. Now I believe he lives down in Florida. And the 99 machine, obviously, when we used to cover NASRA for many seasons back during the COVID years on LSR TV, he ran in that program. And obviously, good to see Rhett Tucker back with us again. And the 99, never count him out here, is right now Gabriel Ellison is the fast man in qualifying. Remember, they'll go 30 laps. Once the end of the race concludes, everything resets, and last will go to first will go to last for that second 30 lapper here tonight as Rhett Tucker works his way across the line. Let's see where he ends up. Top 5 in the 4th position for the 99. Rhett Tucker for RTR Esports and the Viral Sponsor Machine. will go 40.216. Here comes Ryan Bloom, the only driver in the previous past Northwest playoffs. He was in both the Northwest Truck Series and the Click It RV Fix Series playoffs. And Ryan Bloom, look at that, Jason, top of the board. 40.104, the Monster Energy 22. We've known him for many times over the year in the 25 machine.
Yeah, and it's going to be fun to watch this number 22 machine compete here this season for the Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winter Series. For sure, no doubt about it. And he's supporting the Monster Energy colors, the original black-looking monster truck that we have all known and loved over the years here in NASCAR. Remember, too, back, during that Labor Day or Memorial Day to Labor Day break for the Northwest Division, Ryan Bloom was pretty much driving an all-black and then Monster logo number 1 machine or number 25 machine every week in that Gen 4 Fun League. So it was really cool to see him run that. Sure enough, he's got Monster Energy back on the hood this week.
Ryan Bloom, 40.104 with about 90 seconds left to go on the qualifying clock. Still waiting for a couple more drivers to be brave enough to go on the 2-mile oval here and take time, as here comes Bloom working off the corner. And he will drive her on down to pit lane, as it looks like his lap will boast, as his first qualifying lap will put him on the top of the board. Any other takers? We're looking to see if Michael Eden, Dale Wiggins will try to come in to qualify. They've got 1 minute left on the clock if they're going to do so.
I don't necessarily believe they have enough time right now, obviously. I mean, you very well could probably come across the line right now and take the green flag lap, but there's no way they're going to be able to take this lap here because they're not on track right now. If they were on track, obviously, our leaderboard right now, from our point of view, Wesley, their names would be lit up in white. So it looks like I believe that this lineup is going to be set here for this first race. And obviously, I believe you mentioned it too, Wesley. It's going to be so much fun to see, obviously, the finishing results from this race. They're going to invert the field at the end of this and start the next 30-lap feature race, which is going to be so cool. But these 17 drivers, from what it looks like, they're going to be ready to go here. 10 seconds remaining. Looks like Brian Bloom's going to pick up the pole.
Yeah, the entire field will be inverted from last to first to last, if you will. If you finish in dead last, you'll be on the pole for the second race. And obviously, that's going to be really cool on strategy to see what kind of drivers can really move their way, fast machines from the back up to the front. And we're ready to go for round number 1 in the Motor City Mayhem Twin 30s at Michigan. On the pole, Ryan Bloom, your fast qualifier. This was brought in from qualifying. Gabriel Ellison, no invert. That'll be row number 1. Row 2 will find Michael Sturgill Jr. in the 90 machine and Nicholas Gowen in the 81. Row number 3 at Michigan, Rhett Tucker, the 99, and Jonathan Tuckness in the 94. Row number 4 will find, of course, Bradley Rivers in the 15 and Joseph Pleger in the 97. Top 10, Jason, Toby Ritters Clifford and Clinton Sneed in the 07 here at Michigan, your top 10 starters.
Rest of the field, back to 17th. Row number 6, you got Andrew Miller, Mitch Ellison in the 55 machine to the outside. Row number 7 goes to Michael York in the 25, and Jared Barkley in the number 10 on the outside. Row number 8 goes to Michael Garone on the inside, and Dale Wiggins in the 88 machine. And rounding out the field at 17th tonight, the number 8 Toyota Tundra TRD machine, Michael Eden in the number 8.
And again, there's a lineup as these drivers will prepare to go again for twin 30s, 30 laps. The distance, of course, that's 60 miles on the 2-mile racetrack here. As the couple of more drivers waiting to grid. There you see the Monster Energy colors of the number 22 Ford. That's Chevrolet, my apologies. That's Ryan Bloom. And Ryan Bloom will be the man ready to bring him to the green flag. Gabriel Ellison right there alongside of that SimRacerHub.com Toyota ready to go along with row number 1. And we wait for the pace car to catch the field, bring them off of the pit lane. and we get ready to go to racing again. This is a 2-mile racetrack. It's very similar to, if you will, Auto Club Speedway, which is now going to be condensed to a half-mile, 2-mile track of the past. Maybe Vegas, maybe Chicagoland. Some of the racetracks on the NASCAR schedule, Jason, are on the iRacing simulator that are very unique. They're kind of similar. However, every one of these racetracks also offer a different comparison than the others as the field rolls onto the track.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like we talked about, tonight is going to be a very hot and slick conditioned racetrack here in the Irish Hills. I mean, these guys are going to be barreling it down into turn 1 and then down the back straightaway, and then once they get up to full speed, back down the front straightaway at almost 190 to 200 miles an hour basically in Cup standards for these trucks. It's going to be a handful tonight, fixed setup, so it's going to feel a little bit tighter than you would obviously with an open setup, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to have to lay off. It doesn't mean you're going to be slower. You're going to be just as fast. You're going to be just as slipping and sliding as you would ever be here at Michigan in this hot track temperature conditions here tonight.
The racetrack is 2 miles, 3.2 kilometers. Of course, the facility is uniquely with the same banking in turns number 1 and 2 to 3 and 4. And that D-shaped racetrack, 34 feet length on the pit lane. And obviously the entire field getting ready to go. A new era, as I mentioned on the introduction, ready to go for LSRTV. The Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winter Series, ready to go. Twin 30, Race 1 at Michigan in the Motor City Mayhem. And you have a virtual race. We feel the roar as they'll send them off into turn number 1. And give the opening go to Bloom on the outside. Here comes the machine to the bottom of Sturgill. Ellison, they'll tuck in line and go 2 by 2 as they work the back straightaway, Jason.
You saw right there, Gabriel Ellison thought about making it 3 wide coming off turn number 2, but now they're going to stay double wide, 2 by 2, this time heading into 3, and Michael Sturgill Jr. is going to lead the field down into 3 and 4 with the 99 of Brett Tucker getting super loose on the bottom. They're 3 wide off turn number 4 to the line.
I mentioned the banking in turn number 1 through 4 in the corners. They're all 18 degrees. Give lap number 1 to Ryan Bloom as they start to slice and dice like a chopping board down into that first turn as they'll funnel out. Bloom in the lead, Sturgill to the outside. Ellison will follow their single file as they work behind him. They're 2 by 2 behind that on the backstretch.
2 by 2 and also slipping and sliding off the corner. They were trying to bump draft and get lined up. Not enough. But here we go to the outside. Michael Sturgill trying to get a run off that second seam in the middle lane off turn number 4. He's got the run, but just can't do it. He's got a run, though, down into the start-finish line area right there, right up to the back bumper of Bloom. He'll go to the outside now, entering 1 with 28 to go.
Back into the corner again in race number 1. Here they go. Bloom to the lead. Here comes the outside lane by Sturgill trying to get something going. So is also Ellison. Watching all this going on. Picky Boo to the inside. No, he'll go to the outside to the top of the safer barrier. He plays wingman. And now Sturgill powers to the lead as they work into 3. Bloom will battle back on the bottom.
And Gabriel Ellison following right in tow behind them there in the SimRacerHub.com machine off turn number 4 there. He's going to be right into the slipstream of Sturgill off turn number 4, back down the front straightaway, trying to get around Ryan Bloom. And Wesley, that's something that we haven't talked about yet, and we're about to now, is how crucial being in the draft is here with these trucks and how aerodynamically dependent they are. When you're in the draft together, if you're one car on the bottom, you are going to get freight trained by the guys up top in the draft. So if you're a guy like Ryan Bloom, you better get your nose, get your truck right in between those two so you can draft so you don't have this field catch behind you.
Bloom stays on the bottom of the racetrack, and now we got a big battle heading up in the top 5 behind the top 3. Tuckness, Tucker, Plager, Ritters, all in this scramble. That's a 7-8 truck tango down across the line as they'll funnel back out and soar into turn number 1. Back off of the straightaway at 12 degrees of banking here at Michigan of the D-shaped oval. Back to 18 degrees of the corner, now to 5 degrees of the back straightaway, and there's a battle for the lead out of 2.
And Sturgill heading up to the outside again. Ryan Bloom been able to hang tough there on the bottom side, and Gabriel Ellison just not really able to get around these two yet. He keeps flirting with the top lane, then the bottom lane with Ryan Bloom in the corners, but primarily staying up right behind Sturgill. If he could just get behind him, maybe give him the push he needs, and Sturgill's able to side draft Bloom like he tries to right there, but not enough. They could get past Ryan Bloom there as they go into one.
Back into the corner again. Bloom under attack by a truck draft up on the outside by Sturgill and Ellison. You're on board now with Ellison, the SimRacerHub.com number 27 machine. He stays tucked up to the safer barrier, right there in line with Sturgill Jr., who powers to the outside, trying to battle blow up by Bloom. Will he go 3 wide? He'll now go to the inside and play wingman on the 22 out of 4.
I can just hear them tires squealing, Wesley, right now from riding shotgun with Gabriel Ellison, and that's something that I probably wouldn't do if I were him. I know that there's a lot of on throttle time, especially going into 3 and 4 rather than 1 and 2, but I think that he definitely needs to save a little bit of tire considering this is a fixed race, and maybe kind of rotate the car, get it, or the truck rather, get it pointed and try to get this drive off. And with that being said, he could probably be able to close that gap as you see some 3 wide battling back here between Rivers, and Plager coming here off into turn number 3.
Ritter's up on the outside. Boy, he about got the door shut on him as that was Sturgill throwing the block, and all of this going on with toughness. My apologies on the corner down out of the inside. Rivers will follow. That big pack of trucks still behind the top 3. Going on as now Red Tucker has scampered from this pack in the cavalry as they work their way in the corner. By the way, still good on 6 laps now of 30, and Sturgill now the new leader. This battle continues. Toughness and Ritters, and there's the top 3 going at it again into turn 3.
Yeah, great battle in here going through 3 and 4, but as you see, Sturgill's been able to get past the Bloom machine, and here comes Ellison down to the inside of the racetrack. He'll get in the draft with Sturgill, and while they battle, here comes Rhett Tucker in the 99. He got clear of all that traffic back behind him. Now he's trying to hunt down those 3 race leaders by about 3 truck lengths he's behind, heading into 1 and 2 as he rips the top side.
Round 1 of the SimRacerHub.com Challenge Winner Series. Here tonight, of course, it is the Motor City Mayhem Twin 30s as they work their way down into the corner into turn number 3, working off 4. Sturgill is the leader. There you see Toughness now battling with Rivers and Plager and Ritters on the outside, trying to get some help on the bottom. They're going to get by Toughness. Can't clear him as they work their way back into turn number 1 off the front straightaway. And this is a great battle, continuing to pick up into 1.
Yeah, great battle for sure here. As you're seeing Ritters look at that top side right now, and Jonathan Tuckness is trying to roll that bottom there up the corner. Ritters just slammed the door on Brad Rivers in the 15 machine off the corner as they work down to the back straightaway, though Ritters might have the edge going into the corner, and off the corner he should be able to clear this 94, but Jonathan slides up a little bit. Ritters is going to get tight, and he's almost going to get in the wall. He does! He spins right in front of Rivers. They collide down to the infield grass. No caution because it's down below the racing surface. You saw Clifford get really loose out of 4. The truck snapped around and collects Rivers off turn number 4. Now the caution is out.
Problems for Toby Ritters. Caution out, first one of the race. Remember, no fast repairs in this series, and as we take a look at the replay, Toughness and Ritters going at it. Ritters and Rivers now, and all this with the mistake by Ritters on his own down in the safer barrier, Jason. And again, by the time he smacked the safer barrier, working out of turn 4, nowhere to go, just glanced off the machine of the driver, I believe, of Rivers, who, by the way, might actually have more damage than what we think on the 15 truck. And this puts us under the yellow flag for the first time tonight.
Yeah, we're going to take a look here at the LSRTV replay again in just a second. And you saw, obviously, Ritters just got super loose there off the corner. Wesley, and just snapped. And yeah, Brad Rivers definitely has a lot of damage for sure, I'd probably say, on that right front. Ritters probably wouldn't be as hurt probably because he got hit in that left rear. But Rivers, though, he got tagged in that right front. You could just see right there, there's some of the damage on the number 15 machine, and there it is. Oh, yeah, that's going to be very, very detrimental, obviously, for that 15. Going to have to come in and obviously repair it. And, you know, that's the thing. I mean, you cannot have that right front dragging on that tire because it does not help in the corner. You are just going to feel like a boat. You're going to go right up to the outside. The car will not rotate. You don't feel loose. You just feel super tight. He's going to have to get that fixed there for sure.
Here you see what's left of what happened to Rivers' truck is right now. We do see activity on pit road. Everybody, for the most part, besides Clinton Sneed and Mitch Ellison, Jason, coming down on the pit lane. Remember, they do have that one set of tires that they can use, and obviously, with about 3 1/2 way, 18 to go in race number 1, they're taking advantage of it right now.
Yeah, and it's definitely obviously key that they do so. I mean, they did run 10 laps, but I mean, that's the thing that you will have to do here in some of these races throughout these, you know, these next few weeks when we're racing. Remember, 26 races, 13 weeks. These next 13 weeks, if you want to try to win one of these races, there might be come down to a strategy call like we just saw. You know, we're at 18 laps to go. They came into the pits at 19. I mean, we only went green for, what, 10, 11, 12 laps, basically?
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, you have to make a really good call and think to yourself, do I want to pit? Do I want to risk taking tires now? Or should I save them? God forbid we get a late race restart. I can come into the pits, and if maybe some guys are a lap down, maybe everybody chooses to pit. If I have guys behind me, you come into the pits, you take 4 fresh tires, and then you're going to have such an advantage over the rest of this field. I like the call from the 07 and the 55, but I just don't know if the speed's going to be there.
18 laps to go, and of course, Clinton Sneed and Mitch Ellison, those Toyotas up in front, did not come to the pit lane. They'll be in 1 and 2 right now on lap number 13 when they come to the line. Michael Sturgill Jr., first man off of pit road to the 90 machine. He's in 3rd. Gabriel Ellison in 4th of the 27. Ryan Bloom of the 22. Right now, the top 5, the pole machine. Jonathan Tuckness in 6th. Andrew Miller 7th. Jonathan Plager 8th. Michael Garoon Jr. 9th, and Brett Tucker is right now how it stands currently in the top 10. So the lights will go off on the pace car, and we will, or the pace truck, my apologies. Pace truck, we'll get ready for the green flag to come back out when they come to the Geico restart zone this time by and get ready for a restart, Jason. Pretty calm race so far, obviously. Bunched up, very exciting race into the top 3, the top 10 for that matter, but I think it's definitely going to get a lot more fireworks as we move into the home stretch.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it, Wesley here. You know, I mean, for being Michigan, this is a drafting track for these guys, so they're going to have to get aggressive. I mean, you see all 3 of these SimRacerHub.com trucks up at the front of this field. I would not be surprised if they work together, considering the fact they are all Toyotas up there at the front of this field, and obviously they're going to get lined up better than having a push from anybody else since they're the same manufacturer. So we're going to have to see if these guys are going to work together, if they're going to try to go their separate ways. I mean, you obviously have to defend yourself, but it is nice to kind of have, you know, a little bit of, you know, leeway off somebody else here, especially halfway through this race, coming to just 16 to go this time.
That's exactly right, as the field will work their way back to the Geico restart zone inside lane with Sneed. Will fire Sim Racer Hub on the sponsor of a lot of these trucks as they'll fan back out into the corner. Now watch them break apart, and they go 2 by 2 as they work back into turn number 1. They'll take the cross flags next time by.
And you can just see, Wesley, how amazing those trucks on 4 fresh tires obviously mattered. And now I could kind of say, oh, well, it was the best idea to probably come in and take 4 fresh tires. Look at how far back Nick Sneed there, owner of Sim Racing Hub. Oh, sideways, off the corner. Nearly loses it off the corner there. But obviously now you're seeing those four fresh tires, Leslie, really starting to come into play.
Yeah, we're keeping an eye on that as right now closing in, 15 to go. And Michael Sturgill Jr. leads the cavalry again, back up in front in the outside lane of the 90. Ellison will tip-tuck down to the outside. Here comes now Toughness on the bottom. Bloom up there as well as Miller. Here you go, top 5 up in a pack with one another. Here comes an 8P machine. That's the Candyman lookalike. Getting rowdy at Michigan as we get ready for the second half of Twin 1 in Motor City Mayhem. And look at Ritters driving on the bottom into turn 1.
And he's trying the best he can to drive it down into the corner just like everybody else here. But look up at the front of this field. Here comes the 94, Jonathan Toughness to the inside, trying to make something work now for the race lead as they work off 2.
Watching all of this working on again down the back straightaway. Michael Sturgill Jr. in front, the 90 machine, not anymore. Toughness now, peeks to the bottom. He'll carry down Bloom with him. Ellison will play wingman now on the top side with the Sturgill entry. And they'll work their way off that corner down into turn number 4. Coming through the straightaway now, 15 degrees down the front straightaway through the D shape. And now back into turn number 1 and 2.
You see the 22 of Bloom, though, trying to rotate that bottom the best he can, Wesley. Doesn't really have a lot of help here off turn number 2. And that outside lane has a lot more trucks lined up in it than that bottom lane. Here comes the 99, Rhett Tucker making it 3 wide. Don't know if this is going to work. The 29 of Michael Garone, he's going to slide the 27 rather there of Gabriel Ellison. Slid up the track a little bit. Look at how loose right there that number 29 of Michael Garone Jr. was off turn number 4. Nearly had a snapping loose incident like Toby Ritters did just a handful of laps ago.
And remember, the entire field will be inverted at the end of race 1, 3 wide for a moment. Toughness was up on the outside. He'll make it work. Here comes Bloom to the bottom. Sturgill thought about going 3 wide. Backs away. He gets under the tailgate of Toughness as they work into turn number 3. And Bloom to the bottom now. He tries to power for the lead out of 4.
Trying to power for the lead indeed. Here off turn number 4. This looks like a pack race at Daytona or Talladega. They make contact for the race lead. Both Toughness and Bloom. And here comes the field behind them. Here comes Rhett Tucker. Here comes Sturgill back at it for the race lead. Caution's out. We got a crash. Gabriel Ellison around, I believe, down the front straightaway. Yep. And that's going to be the reason for your second caution there. There's that number 27 machine up and into the wall in turn number 1.
Problems for Gabriel Ellison, the 27. Here's a look at your replay. Watch that outside. That's the white and black truck, the 27 there. He's in that middle behind. I believe that's the 90 of Sturgill. And look at this. Trying to go 3 wide, Jason, down in the corner. I think he ran out of room, and the 10 hooked him. Jared Barkley in a sandwich there. Also with another truck. Oh, my.
That is not something you want to see there going into turn number 1.
I believe it was. Yeah. Michael Garone Jr.
Yeah, both
got a piece of it.
And Jared Barkley, all those guys. The number 10 is the one who hooked him, I believe, or at least the 27 of Gabriel Ellison into the corner. And that's just a product of, obviously, Wesley, those guys trying to give each other room, but sometimes misjudgment, mistakenly, misjudging a corner, an entry point, whatever it may be, backing up the corner, etc. You get the gist. And unfortunately, that's just what happened there going into turn number 1. And now with 10 laps to go, these guys, remember, they don't have another set of tires if they already took those. If you're maybe Jared Barkley, Michael Garone Jr., Gabriel Ellison, you already took a set of Goodyear Eagles probably. So you have to deal with those tires now for the next less than 10 laps.
Like to know more details about the Sim Racer Hub Challenge series, go to Sim Racer Hub Challenge on Facebook. And of course, this is the winter series. Next week, we'll be at Talladega. Boy, what a big difference that makes, Jason. You go from a 2-mile racetrack here in Michigan. And honestly, we're seeing super speedway-like racing tonight with these drivers and these trucks. Talladega next week will be exactly the same.
What's that, Wesley? 2 days in a row? 2 money races at super speedways? Boy, oh boy, that's going to be fun. Obviously, next week, you say we go to, obviously Talladega, and then we go to Talladega as well, I believe.
Tomorrow night.
The Fed Custom PC. Yeah, with tomorrow night as well here next week. So it's going to be fun. And then obviously they'll kick it back off again for another super speedway event next week for them. So it's going to be really cool to see, obviously, what we got going on here. Obviously not real, racing season right now. I mean, what do we got left probably this racing season? We got what? We got the Snowball Derby and we got the Chili Bowl pretty much. That's about it for this, racing season.
If you want to be honest, here, you've got what? The Thanksgiving Classic at Southern National this weekend, the 30th annual Thanksgiving Classic. That'll be on, of course, Racing America. There's the Turkey Derby. There's the modified race at Wall Stadium. There's the USAC race, of course, in California. You've got the what next week is the Snowball Derby, the 56th Snowball Derby in Pensacola. Then you've got the following week, I believe you've got the Tulsa Shootout, obviously before the Chili Bowl. That's a big one on New Year's Day or Christmas New Year's Day weekend down in Tulsa. Then you have the Ice Bowl at Talladega, New Year's Bash. I'll be doing that with MAB TV at Dillon Motor Speedway. You've got a 10,000 to win late model race rescheduled from last week that got postponed, or 2 weeks ago. That'll be at Carteret County Speedway. I'll be broadcasting that event in Swansboro. And then there's a New Year's Day event on New Year's Day exactly at New River All-American Speedway. So, yeah, there's still racing going on. There is no off-season anymore. In a nice way of saying it, there is no off-season no more. And then, of course, we have all the great coverage for the Fed PC, the Big Money Wednesday series, as Jason alluded to. Tomorrow night we'll be back at Talladega. Next week we're at Talladega for the SimRacerHub.com round 2 of the Challenge Winners Series. Right now, ready to settle it here in race 1. And don't go anywhere. Race number 2 of the Twin 30s coming up here on LSRTV as soon as we wrap up race number 1. Pace Truck is on the pit lane, ready to go with a 7-lap shootout in race 1 of the Twin 30s for Motor City Mayhem in Michigan. Field back to the Geico restart zone, green flag, almost spinning tires was going to be Tuckness. Somehow he gets away and scampers from the other drivers, and quickly Ryan Bloom, Jason, back to the lead into 1.
Yeah, back to the lead he goes, but don't forget about Jonathan Tuckness right there, trying to get to the bottom of this racetrack. In fact, he's going to get right up to the bumper of Bloom off turn number 4. He's going to slip out of line now. He's got help from Michael Sturgill back behind him. Remember, Wesley, 7 laps to go. Now 6.5 coming to 6. This race is going to fly by. They're not going to have a lot of time. 40 seconds a lap time. It's going to get close here for the race lead off 4.
A little and probably impatient as well, as these guys are fighting for all their spots back across the line. 6 laps to go, 12 miles remaining here in Twin 30, race number 1 of Motor City Mayhem at Michigan. Tuckness now the new leader, down to the bottom of the racetrack as they work their way to the back straightaway. Watch this, Tuckness, Bloom, Sturgill, they've been up in the front all night long, trying to make something happen. Tucker and Plager the top 5 into 3.
And Plager trying to work down to the bottom now with that 99 of Brett Tucker. They're going to go 3 wide for a second now at 3 and 4. The 88 or the 81 of Nick Gowen had the door slammed on them off turn number 4 by Brett Tucker. Tried to rip the outside, nearly got there in that Dale Jr. 2017 Exalta inspired machine. Off into turn number 1. They're still double wide for the race lead in the corner.
Monkey in the middle, Ryan Bloom, clowns to the left of me, Chokers to the right, he's stuck in the middle, they might go 4 wide, they stay 3 wide, he got loose, a little wiggle and a jiggle and a giggle and a bobble, up the racetrack goes Tuckness, here comes Sturgill powering to the bottom, they're still 3 wide going to 3.
This might not work. You see the 90 Sturgill getting loose. Off into turn number 3. They're going to have to slam the door on one another. They do. Back to 2 wide. This time at the line. 4 laps to go. You could take Daytona, Talladega, and Michigan. Put them all together side by side. You wouldn't know the difference. Down into turn 1. 4 laps to go here.
They are 2 by 3, almost in unison in that pack. Shades of what you will see at the Super Speedway next week for the Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winter Series Round 2. Meanwhile, here comes Tuckness down to the inside as they fan back out 2 by 2. They do-si-do into the corner. Here comes Going to the bottom, up now into the inside, looking for the lead. 3 wide with 3 to go.
Where the heck did Going come from? He was all the way back in 7th 3 laps ago. Now he's the race leader. Slams the door on Tuckness down the front straightaway in the 90 of Sturgill. Trying to go back to the race lead. And here comes Michael York down to the inside. 3 wide, almost 4 for the second position in the 1 and 2.
And there goes Red Tucker back on the outside, and there's contact. Ryan Bloom got a little shot. He drops to the apron, got to pick up speed. Gets back in line behind Michael York, and they're not done yet. Coming to 2 to go out of 4.
And Nick Going is seeing everything he wants to out of his rear view. The only thing that he's going to be a victim of possibly is this draft. Look at these 3 trucks lined up. They're going to catch Nick Going like he put on the brakes by the time they get to the back straightaway. And into 1 and 2 for the second to last time. Here comes Tucker. He pulls out a line, slides up the racetrack. Tuckness on the inside, clears them. He's going to try to go for the race lead on Going down the back.
And it looked like a draft at a super speedway. They are all right there nestled behind everybody from third on back. There is Calamity waiting in any corner. This time by Nick Going. He marks to the 81 machine. He powers to the inside. He'll stay to the safer barrier. He'll work his way to the line. White flag will go in the air. 1 more lap to go in twin race number 1. Can he hold on? Nick Going, final time in turn number 1.
And down into 1 for the final time. Tuck is starting to close the gap. He gets a better entry than Going into the center of 1 and 2. It's all to the about corner exit off the corner. Tuckness gets a little bit loose, but he's going to have some drafting help behind him here for the final time. Entering 3 and 4, Going is going to have 2 Carlings from the 94 as he sends it into 3 for the final time.
And here comes Tuckness now. He'll power along with help by Sneed. Sneed's got Sturgill in tow, and they can't do anything. Jumping out of line goes the machine of Sneed. He can't get there. Nick Going will win round number 1 of Motor City Mayhem with the Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winter Series at Michigan. Second spot on the Tuckness. Clinton Sneed will go to 3rd. And again, where did the exalted colors of the Chevrolet 81 of Nick Going come from? All the way in the back, most of the way, climbed on that last restart when it counted the most on 7 to go to make a sprint to pick up the win here in twin race number 1. Now you got to remember, he'll now, Jason, be starting shotgun on the field for race number 2 on deck next here at Michigan.
Oh, yeah, and that's going to be so much fun here for Nick Going, and I mean, what a job for sure. I mean, we didn't even see where he came from. All of a sudden, he was right in the mix. He was running 7th. Next thing you know, 2 laps later, we found him going 3 wide up at the top. Then we saw him 3 wide down to the bottom for the race lead, and it all paid off for the 81 machine at the end of it.
There's a look at the results. Nicholas Going to win race number 1. Jonathan Tuckness 2nd. Clinton Sneed 3rd. Michael Sturgill 4th. And Joseph Plager top 5. How about a run for Toby Ritters? He'll finish in 6th. Ryan Bloom 7th. Bradley Rivers is 8th. Mitch Ellison and Andrew Miller, the Candyman, will round out your top 10 in race 1 at Michigan.
Yeah, then you have Gabriel Ellison. Remember, had that contact down at a 1 earlier on. Michael York, Michael Garone as well. Rhett Tucker finished 1 lap down somehow in the number 99 machine. Something of a miss on him after running so good up at the front those first 20 laps or so. Jared Barkley, Dale Wiggins, and Michael Eden, both those 2 drivers, 88 and number 8 machines, they did not start to the first race for the 30-lap event here tonight.
We're going to step away real quickly, and when we come back, we are going to grab the winner of race number 1, Nick going. Don't go anywhere. Coverage continues on your home for sim racing with the SimRacerHub.com Challenge Winner Series and Motor City Mayhem from Michigan when we return. Back here at Michigan, checkered flag flies in round 1 of the SimRacerHub.com Challenge Winner Series. I'm Wesley Outland, Jason Rockefeller alongside with out of nowhere. Your Chevrolet just really looked strong on that last restart, but congrats on the win.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was just took a calculated risk on that first caution. Majority of the drivers went down, I think, took their tires on that first yellow. And knowing how races here can get, just took a calculated risk and just saved my set. I went down, started in the back, tried to hang on to the draft, but when that yellow came out, just went down, took my fresh set, and was able to take the bottom, unlike the guys on older tires, so it worked out to my advantage. So happy about that.
And Nick, congratulations there on the round number 1 win, man. Obviously, you're going to be heading here in 8.5 minutes to go into round 2 for tonight's event. How do you prepare yourself knowing you just went from the back, like you said, after those pit stops and made your way up to the front?
Hopefully, keep the nose clean and stay out of trouble. But I feel like now with the race underway, under everyone's belts, I think we'll be a little bit cleaner coming the second one. So I think it'll be a bit more tire management and see if it goes green all the way. We got a lot of fast guys in here, so it's going to be tough if it goes green. So hoping to take care of my stuff and see where that puts me at the end.
Hey, Nicholas, final question. Segue that into thanking your sponsors. It felt like it was shades of Daytona, Talladega Superspeedway, bump draft tandem racing, if you will. This has obviously got to be a lid lifter to get yourself prepared for next Tuesday night also.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, super speedway racing in these trucks is fun. I mean, it can also be very tricky because they can get unsettled really, really quick. Because, I mean, they are boxes after all. Yeah, it definitely warming up and knocking some rust off as far as like the super speedway racing goes. So hopefully it'll sharpen up those edges for next week. Just want to thank the rest of my team, Eon Motorsports, in the Discord channel for being here tonight, and to everyone watching at home.
There you go. There's the driver, of course, winner of race number 1 tonight for the Motor City Mayhem Twin 30s at Michigan. That's the driver, of course, Mr. Gowen in the number 81 machine, Exalta Chevrolet, getting it done. And, of course, we'll see what he does from the rear of the field, Nick Gowen, in race number 2. Let's talk to the runner-up of race number 1. Jonathan Tuckness joins us now in the 94 machine. Jonathan, you were right there up in the front of the pack with everybody, Sturgill and Bloom. And your take of this race, and you'll finish second, sir.
Oh, I thought it was a fantastic race. I hate the cautions that come out. You feel like you're trying to save and drive smart, and that all just goes out the window and is pretty much all for naught. Guys like Gowen on old tires are fast, so when he comes ripping through on new tires, like there's really nothing you can do. One of the cleanest guys I've ever raced with, so I appreciate that. Raced with Sturgill a bunch, and I thought we just had a fantastic run there. I apologize to Ryan Bloom. I think I ran him dirty one lap, but he didn't deserve it. That was a great race. I'll take that P2 and be happy about it.
And Jonathan, obviously, like I had just said to Nick before, you got one race under your belt. You're about to head into the second race here in just a few minutes. You were up at the front most of that race. How do you prepare yourself going into this one, knowing that you have to stay at the front to keep that lead?
I thought the clean air would be a lot more effective, and so I wanted to stay up front. But once you get help in the second lane, it's a little bit quicker. And I don't really have any friends in here as far as teammates. So for me, it's just going to be saving tire. But I feel just with where the wrecks happen that race, being towards the front is where I'd like to be and try to, like Nick said, keep my nose clean.
Well, what do you do different for race number 2 coming up? Obviously, you'll be starting in the rear there, of course, alongside Gowen.
Oh, I'm probably going to go take a nap, and I hope you guys have a good race.
Okay,
I'm just kidding.
right.
I just have big eyes and think about those old NASCAR video games with the avoid the wreck challenge and just have my big eyes open.
There you go. They got any sponsors on the 94?
Yeah, D-Dub Button Box. Best button boxes to make changes on the fly. And, of course, McConey set up shop all over the truck. That's all I got, fellas.
It's one of those other entries sponsored by Jeff McConey, and of course it is a runner-up finish for Jonathan Tuckness. Let's go down to the third place man, the Toyota number 07, the boss behind SimRacerHub.com and the Challenge Winner Series, and Clinton Sneed, you will finish in the number 3 spot. Your take of this race and being on the podium.
Well, I'll take a P3 finish. It wasn't looking too good there. A couple of us stayed out, and Chance taking our tires later, and just didn't quite have enough time to get back through the field. So, we'll take a P3 photo finish for P2 and see what we can do moving into the second race.
And I'm assuming you guys probably learned your lesson from staying out there on 10, 11 lap holder tires.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I knew we weren't gonna be able to stay up front, and actually did slightly better than I anticipated. But yeah, it was just hedging our bets, thinking that okay, there might be another caution, and if we get another one, then we'll be sitting pretty. So yeah, we put our chips on the table and came up just a little bit short. But overall, that was better than running 9th or 10th or whatever that we were prior to that. And we'll take it and take the points and see if we can improve a couple spots here in race number 2.
Flex needs self-promotion here. If we have an audience of people that are new to the SimRacerHub.com Challenge Winter Series or any of the events you've done, let people know very quickly in a synopsis of what SimRacerHub.com is.
Yeah, to put it simply, SimRacer Hub is the home for iRacing league scoring. Been around since I think the website originated in 2012 or so, and myself and Kyle Kraus have kind of taken it over and ran with it, and we're making big improvements and some big things in store. So if you want a place to store your iRacing results and stats and points, we've made it simpler than ever. So absolutely come join us, and just want to give a shout out to you guys at LSRTV for bringing a great broadcast, and for Phil at Aspiration Homes for sponsoring the Motor City Mayhem here this week. And we've got a good series shaping up, and it's going to be a great year.
That's the third place man, Clinton Sneed, and that's the way they finish in race number 1 of course, the Aspiration Home sponsored Motor City Mayhem Twin 30s. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, race number 2. They line up from the front to the back at Michigan next. Welcome back to coverage as Aspiration Homes presents the Motor City Mayhem Twin 30s. Race number 1 in the books. Welcome back to iRacing on LSRTV. I'm Wesley Outland, Jason Rockefeller alongside. Jason, what was your take of race number 1, man? Very exciting, and like I said, kind of picturesque of what we'll see at Super Speedway, Talladega, Daytona in the weeks to come. As a matter of fact, next week.
Oh yeah, I had such a blast calling it, and I'm really excited here for this next race. It's short, it's fun, creates a lot of drama, And obviously, you know, for our first time, we only know a handful of these drivers in here. And over the next 13 weeks or so, we're going to be able to figure out who these drivers are in and out, what their personalities are, and what kind of racers they are behind the sim racing wheel.
There is an invert. The field is gridding. The winner of race 1 now shotgun on the rear. If you're in the back at race 1, you're on the pole in race 2. And here's the lineup. Michael Eden's Toyota on the pole, the number 8, and the 88 of Dale Wiggins alongside. Row number 2. We'll find Jared Barclay in the 10. He got caught up in an accident. And Rhett Tucker as well in the 99. Row 3 here at Michigan. Michael Guerin in the number 29, Michael Guerin, and Michael York in the 25. He was trying to make some noise at the finish. He fell back. Gabriel Ellison in the 27, and Andrew Miller alongside of the 18. Top 10, Mitch Ellison in the 55. Bradley Rivers wants to get another shot at it after being involved in an accident early. The 15 will start 10th, Jason.
Yeah, row number 6, you got Ryan Bloom, who fell back there in the second half of last race. Toby Ritter's there in the 23, went around through the infield, obviously, earlier on. He's trying to rebound tonight. Row number 7, Joseph Plager in the number 97 machine. Michael Sturgill in the number 90. Row number 8, Clinton Sneed. Jonathan Tuckness there in the 94 machine. And row number 9, Nicholas Gowen, last race winner, trying to go from the back to the front and make it 2 in a row here tonight.
There's the lineup. Hey, real quickly, let's see if the weather conditions have changed any. Presented by Kaufman Creative and Jason, they have. Things have got cooler as the race was hotter in race 1.
Yeah, it got a little cooler by about 9 degrees or so, but I promise you, Wesley, those 9 degrees ain't going to make one dang of a difference there. As you see, obviously, the wind speed stayed pretty much the same amount of what it was at the beginning of last race. Ambient air temp still 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Obviously, the clear skies means that this track is going to have the sun beating down on it. It's going to be hot. It's going to be slick, just like we saw a couple guys loose off these corners. But they're coming to the restart zone. They're ready to get racing here for the second 30-lap race.
Aspiration Homes, Motor City Mayhem, Twin 30, race 2 underway, and you have a virtual race in Michigan. Everybody from the back to the front now up in this pack. Everyone in the front to the back at the finish of race 1. And look at Barkley and Tucker. They're going to battle for the lead quickly into turn 1.
Yeah, and down into 1 and 2, you see that 99 of Tucker just being able to clear Barkley off the top side there, down the back straightaway. But now Barkley has a little bit of a run. Will he use it? Will he go down to the bottom? Down into 3, the 10 machine, right in tow behind the 99 this time.
Remember, as we mentioned, 18 degrees of banking down in the turns, 12 degrees on the front straightaway. Here at the D-Shank, Michigan Trio will back into 1. And that'll be the back stretch at 5 degrees here in the Irish Hills of virtual Michigan. Tucker now, the viral 99, leads the cavalry into 1 and 2. Barkley up on the outside. Here comes Garone, Ellison, they battle. Might go 3 wide if Miller is brave into 2.
Yeah, and everybody kind of shuffling around down the back straightaway here, obviously. A lot of single file racing right now. You see this 29 of Garone. He's going to have York on the back bumper. Gives him a shot, entering 3. And here comes that 2010 looking Kyle Cook. KBM, number 18, M&M's Toyota Camry, famously known in the Cup Series back when he was at Joe Gibbs. Trying to look to the inside now. He's got Toby Ritters, though, following right behind him there as he has the 90 of Michael Sturgill on his back bumper.
You know, M&M's backward is W&W. That's my company. 3 wide. Barclay Miller in the middle. Thought to go 3 wide. Look at Ritter's power back in here. Slamming on doors. Garone. 18 Miller. Sturgill. 3 wide. Ritters is in front of this. Bloom is on the bottom of it as they work in the corner.
Yeah, 3 wide up at the top of the racetrack. You see Toby Ritters trying to not make the same mistake he did in that first race, obviously getting loose and letting the truck snap and spinning out down to the infield grass and not really able to recover. Remember, he tried the best he could to save it, wasn't able to do it. Now he finds himself on the outside, 3 wide again here off turn number 4. They're almost 4 wide, nearly some contact. 18 nearly loses it off turn number 2.
3 laps in, and they're trying to stick it 4 wide. My goodness, 3 wide down in the corner, and here comes cloud cover over the racetrack as well as they work into 3 and 4. Ritter's up on the outside. Look at that do-si-do tango. That's about right there in that pack, trying to hold it together as they work their way back into turn number 1. 4 laps in, it is Tucker the leader.
Yeah, Tucker doing a really great job out front right now, still running that middle to top seam, but he's got Gabriel Ellison right there on the bottom, in tow behind him, and Rhett's just going to wear out those tires running that top side. But the thing is, he's got that run off the corners, but it's not going to play too favorable for him if this pack doesn't in fact catch him here. We're going to have to see, but you see the 15, Brad Rivers down to the inside, passing Andrew Miller in the 18 machine, and then you see Toby Ritters. He's battling with Joseph Plager to the start-finish line this time.
Nick Gowen, winner of race number 1 here before the invert, is in 13th right now. He has lost that 12-truck pack, 25 to go when they're working off of turn 2. Tucker into the lead. He's on the outside. Not for long, though. Ellison thought about making a note to the bottom. He can do it. Take a ball to 3.
Down the back straightaway into 3 this time. You see Ellison all over the back bumper of Tucker entering 3 and 4 this time. Here comes Brad Rivers. He's going to look up to the top side while he's up top of Bloom, and also the 18 of Miller off the corner. Sturgill jumps up to the top side. They're going to try to get hooked up together as they race double wide with the 22 and 18 back in the 1.
Back to the turn, into the corner. There's Bloom on the bottom. Bloom trying to make something happen where he fell short earlier as the fast qualifier. Red Tucker up on the outside. Ellison will follow. Bloom to the inside. Miller will follow. He stays to the inside. Everyone else up top as they work 3.
And back down to the 3 and 4 now. You see Ryan Bloom trying to take a shot at your leader, Rhett Tucker, and he is there. He is to the inside. First battle we've really seen for the race lead. If it ain't Gabriel Ellison getting to the bumper, it's Ryan Bloom trying to go to the bottom, but they have the draft up top, and you see Ryan Bloom go from basically the lead all the way back to 4th now as they go into 1.
7 laps into this one here now as they work their way down to the corner. It's Miller trying to get inside, outside, behind them, in front of them actually. They're 2 by 2, at least Bloom and Miller trying to make something work on the outside to try to run down Sturgill. And while that happens, Tucker and Ellison stay up top, working 3 and 4. Here they come back down to the bottom of the banking into turn number 4 of the line. Bloom cannot pull the trigger. He's stuck on the bottom. His teammate from Win Racing to the northwest, Toby Ritters, cannot get there, Jason, to reel in from the tailgate of the 22 going to 1.
Yeah, and you see everybody trying to find a lane that could be better than that leader right now. Ryan Bloom thinks he may have found that, but he just doesn't have help back from behind him. And here comes his Win Racing teammate there in the 23 machine on the northwest side of things. Toby Ritters closing the gap. He's all the way up to the 6th spot, trying to find a way around Andrew Miller. Drifts up the racetrack, and here comes Ryan Bloom for the race lead. This is the furthest out there he's been. Tries to break the draft, and here comes Ellison trying to follow him in tow. They're side by side back in the 1 this time.
A lot more relaxed, if you will. There's been some crazy chaotic moments. Hello, Wesley. Down into the corner, but no more than that. Quickly, we had a caution, 10 laps into things here in race 1. We're about to put lap number 10 on the board with 20 to go this time by. And things, honestly, Jason, have calmed down as Tucker is the leader. But here comes now Tucker looking. Is Bloom on the bottom, trying to battle for the lead, trying to get there. Everyone else right in the outside, safer barrier out of turn 4.
Yeah, and you see everybody still in tow with this draft, trying to make sure that they can keep Ryan Bloom at a disadvantage. And there was literally some contact, I believe, there from Rhett Tucker and Ryan Bloom down the front straightaway. It looked like Tucker tried to give the side draft to Bloom on the right rear. They made some contact. Whoa! Miller sideways off turn number 2. They're going to be 3 wide while the leaders battle up front now for the race lead again back into 3.
Back at it again. Here comes Ellison, that Sim Racer Hub Toyota 27 trying to reel in the 99 viral entry. Red Tucker. Originally, he's loose. Oh, and opened the door for 2 for 1 on the 99. Ellison and Sturgill say, excuse me, coming through, looking for more, carrying that momentum around Bloom for the lead. Ellison at 27-1.
And Ellison can thank Michael Sturgill Jr. He might have to take him out to dinner after this one if he gets the check after this one. And near contact off turn number 2, but Ellison was able to clear Bloom. Now they're side by side, almost back to a pile again into turn number 3. Bloom trying to find a way around him. He'll stay in tow as they head back to 3.
Back into the corner again, closing in on under 20 to go now. Bloom, he got a little wiggle just for a moment, bobbed to the inside. He's losing that momentum on the top. He can't run the inside of the racetrack, drafting-wise, to get back in this pack. And now Tucker goes after Bloom for that spot. Now Bloom says, I'll do it on my own again to the inside of the 90th Sturgill out of 2.
He did it once. He's trying to do it again. But remember, Ryan Bloom ran really hard towards the end of that first one in the first race. And remember, he ended up kind of losing some time towards the end of that race because he wore out those tires. And really, you might really be seeing that he is just trying to throw it down in there as hard as he can. Now he's falling back almost to the 5th position, trying to get in line behind Tucker. He does, and here comes Rivers now following behind him.
Make it 17 laps to go now. 17 to go. Ellison the leader. Sturgill in second. Tucker, Bloom, Rivers. There's your top 5. And Ritters is trying to get into that battle. They work the back stretch.
And I think something, Wesley, here that we're kind of noticing, probably that's easily a takeaway from this race compared to last one, is I think that this part of the run, it's a lot more calm rather than it was in the first race. Remember, we saw about 2 yellows. So far, we haven't had one. We would have already had one if we were in the first race. And you're seeing these guys go single file. Remember, they have 100% fuel, so they can make it on fuel. Tires, they can go the distance. They don't need to pit. It's just if a caution comes out, they are presented with an opportunity to pit for that fresh set of Goodyear Eagles. That's the one and only set behind the wall for them, and also some Sunoco Racing fuel here for their trucks. And, that's the thing that we could see this race come into play with saving tires. We're already starting to see it. It's not as racy as it was. You're seeing a lot of guys like Tucker, like Bloom, like Ritters. Everybody, mind you, is really all over the racetrack here. So this could come down to tire conservation if we don't have any yellows.
Cross flags in the air, 15 down and 15 to go in race number 2. And of course, watching the number 81, there's the Exalta Chevrolet going up the 10th, winner of race number 1. Had to start shotgun on the field. He's in the top 10, 15 to go. Some of these drivers in the back, Jason, no doubt about it, looking for a Banana Republic flag. And if you don't know that color, it's yellow.
Yeah, and the thing is, with this 81 machine is, remember, we were told by Clinton Sneed there, he said, oh yeah, he's really good on a fresh set of Goodyear Eagles. So imagine if Nick Gowen were to have an opportunity to come into the pits and the yellow flag were to come out, and he takes 4 French Goodyear Eagles. We very well could see him do exactly what he did in that first race. He was strong on fresh Goodyears, but when it came down to the tires wearing, he just wasn't all there. And right now, he's 7 seconds back in 10th. Definitely not an opportunity for him to win right now unless he got a yellow.
Totally different race as far as caution flag wise than what we saw in race 1, no doubt. Things kind of settling down and calming, if you will. By the way, don't forget, thanks to Aspiration Homes for one of the sponsors, of course. The Motor City Mayhem Twin 30s. Next week, it's off to Talladega for round number 3 and 4.
Whoa!
Bloom, look out. Bloom and Tucker. And here comes Ellis and no Rivers on the bottom.
3
wide as they go to 3. Hold it together.
Oh, he's sliding up the racetrack. He might make contact. They're almost up and into the wall. The 99 and the 25 had to jump out of it. And Wesley, we just talked about how these guys were definitely wearing out the tires. Ryan Bloom with the fastest lap of the race right now with a 39.836. Last time around for him, 41.496, nearly 2 seconds of fall off, just over 15 laps into this race. So you can see that these guys are absolutely hurting with those tires on these trucks.
Ellison, Sturgill, Bloom, Tucker, Ritters, top 5, and now Rivers will battle Ritters for that spot down into turn number 3. And 11 laps to go. This race, by the way, so far, caution free. It has been a totally different race than what we saw in race number 1. And it's brought to you by the way, Virginia811.com. Dig with care, call before you dig. And the race summary, no cautions, no caution laps, 4 lead changes. By the way, there were 4 caution flags in race number 1.
Oh yeah, and this is the thing, you know, this race, obviously guys took race number 1, they learned a lot, and obviously this race is playing out a lot differently than that first race. That's the thing, you give these guys track time, even 30 laps makes a huge difference. Even with the cautions that we had last race too, it presents them an opportunity to understand how the truck's going to react in a certain point. Where can you overstep the back? Where do you know that you can't do this, you can't do that, etc. There's so many different factors, and it makes you better for this second race. You're seeing what we've been seeing. 10 laps to go, no yellows, still 1 set of good Eagles back behind the wall. Because you're seeing Michael Sturgill Jr., Ryan Bloom, and Rhett Tucker. They're still trying to run down Gabriel Ellison, who has kind of been really under fire from Sturgill most of this run. He's had some jabs at him, just not able to do anything with him just yet, coming to 9 to go.
Talladega next week, Kansas in 2 weeks, Homestead and Nashville. We will take off on the Christmas break. Under 10 laps to go now. We're in single digits, 9 remaining. Gabriel Ellison in the top spot. By the way, Nick Goebel, winner of race 1, stuck in 10th. Jonathan Tuckness, runner-up in race 1. 13th, Clint Sneed in front of him in the 12th spot. And we're 9 to go here in race 2 of Motor City Mayhem at Michigan.
This has been such a fun race to watch, Wesley. Even last race was super fun. And it's not over. We're coming to 8 laps to go right now. Any of these 4 to 5 drivers up at the front here can win. And also, mind you, with these tires wearing, we could see somebody possibly get a little bit loose off these corners, maybe create a spin. We might see a late race yellow flag. And boy, oh boy, what kind of drama that would create if nobody is able to execute all their pit stops if presented the opportunity to come to those pits.
Anything is possible. Down the back straightaway there, you see the top 4. As Ritters is in 5th, and he's losing ground on them now. Not even camera view as they work their way into 3 and out of 4 off the 18 degrees of banking in the corner. Back on the front stretch, that is 12 degrees at the start-finish line. 7 laps to go. Ellison in the lead. Sturgill was a man in the mission in race 1. Fell short. He's right there in the catbird seat, along with Ryan Bloom in the top 3. Pulled away from Tucker as they work 2, Jason.
Oh, and Sturgill gets a little bit loose there, Wesley, heading into turn number 2, but off the corner, still gaining with that draft advantage behind the 27. Is he going to go to the bottom? He's right to the back bumper now. He's going to stay in tow. Ryan Bloom, though, he's going to charge up on that middle side, try to get the run here off this corner. They're still nose to tail separated by a car length each.
To the line this time by 6 laps to go. 12 miles in the 2 mile here in Michigan. Who will take race number 2 of the Motor City Mayhem Twin 30s? In the corner, single file, Ellison, a little wiggle there, Jason. This is going to allow Sturgill to try to reel him in, but then Ellison picks up speed in the backstretch going to 3.
Yeah, he has a little bit of speed, but the thing is, if Michael Sturgill Jr. wants an opportunity at this race lead, the closest that he gets to him, he has to get to this bottom. Clean air means so much here with the aerodynamic dependency of these trucks. If you're in dirty air, obviously, it does not help when you're in the corners. The only time it plays a benefactor when somebody else is punching a hole in the air is when you're down the straightaways getting that draft weight that's being fed off the back of their truck. But when you're in the corner, obviously, you just push aero tight, and you just can't do anything, or you get a little bit loose there, like Sturgill did off 2.
Open hand from the flagman last time by. 5 laps to go. Into 3. Down into the turn. Here comes Ellison staying on the bottom now. He'll now move up to the middle lane. Sturgill will mimic him, and the mime of Bloom will follow. Tucker still 2 truck lengths back behind the top 3. And that goes on with 4 to go as they go back into 1. Here comes now Sturgill with a run in the 1.
Just clean air right now, Wesley, means so much. Michael Sturgill Jr. needs to try something else. He cannot follow this number 27 into these corners. The more he does that, the more aero tight he's going to get, the more he's just going to have to back up his exit. He needs to do something different if he wants to get around his 27.
3 to go as they come out of turn 4, this time by at the line. Flag to flag, caution free so far. Can business pick up here at the end? Time to put those poker chips on the table now. Place your bets. Who will it be? Ellison, Sturgill, Bloom look to be the runner-ups. Working into the finish of race 2. An entirely different podium than what we had in the first race. And honestly, Jason, that's the reason why the invert can make it so cool.
Yeah, and it definitely makes it cool. It also makes it interesting because you have guys in these situations that weren't presented with those opportunities at the end of that first race. Now you're having a totally different set of guys obviously up here. I mean, Ryan Bloom was up there for a majority of that first race. Michael Sturgill, same thing, wasn't coming out on the podium. Gabriel Ellison, we saw him, remember, fall back after not hitting there, I believe it was, earlier on, in that race. Once that first caution was presented, now he's the race leader, and he's got a truck length over Sturgill here as they hit the back straightaway with a lap and a half to go.
Ellison stays up on the top of the safer barrier. They work to the inside. Here comes Sturgill making a move to the inside. Can't get him. Bloom up top now. They work off of turn number 4 coming down to the line. White flag will go in the air. 1 more lap to go. Caution free in Michigan in race 2 of the Motor City Mayhem. Ellison, can he hold on one more time around into turn 2 with 2 miles?
And Gabriel did a great job defending that line, going down the front straightaway. He protected the bottom all the way to the end of the corner. Didn't give Sturgill the advantage into the corner, and now Bloom's going to have to push Ellison all the way down the straightaway. Final time in 3, Sturgill's going to have to send it in here.
To the inside, Ellison right there. Sturgill in tow. Bloom reels them in, and he got loose working out of turn 4 sideways. He's out of the dance. Sturgill final time to the bottom, and Gabriel Ellison will win race 2 of Motor City Mayhem in Michigan. Ryan Bloom third, bobs the truck and almost lost it fishtailing out of 4 off that final chance to reel in the leaders. Sturgill made a move to the bottom of the apron, and it just was not enough. Gabriel Ellison will join the driver of Nick Gowen, who, by the way, came back to finish 7th, Jason, as the round 1 and 2 winners of the 2023 SimRacerHub.com Winner Challenge Winner Series at Michigan.
Yeah, great job by Gabriel Ellison. I really think, honestly, Wesley, what won him that race was clean air, but if there was like an extra credit bonus point I would give to him, it was his defense going down the front straightaway. The number 90 had a heck of a run off turn number 4. He brought him down to the apron, and he didn't just come back up the racetrack like you usually would see to get all the way up to the wall to get that market entry into
Hey, we apologize. We had some technical difficulties, but I think we've got it ironed back out. Welcome back to our post-race coverage of round 1 and 2. Motor City Mayhem, of course, the Aspiration Homes sponsored event for the SimRacerHub.com Challenge Winter Series rounds 1 and 2, as I mentioned. Let's grab the winner. Joining Nick Gowen is going to be, of course, the driver Gabriel Ellison. Gabriel, SimRacerHub.com 27 Toyota, right place, right time. Very calm race than race number 1. Congrats on the win.
Thanks. Yeah, getting crushed out of the first one, actually. You know, we were doing the invert. It helped because I got to start like 3rd row or something. But yeah, there at the beginning had a real good battle with Tucker and Ryan here, and then Sturgill kind of came up, and we just kind of kept it out in the clean air.
And Gabriel, that was going to lead me right into my question for you, man. Do you think clean air really played big dividends for you tonight, and that's probably why you won the race?
Yeah, I think so. The truck was getting really loose longer in the run, and running out front, I was able to just kind of take it easy on the bottom and save tires for the end. I think me and Michael kind of had the same idea with that, but I don't doubt that the clean air was definitely an advantage at coming into that last lap.
Gabriel, why do you think, and we could segue this into thanking your sponsors also, but why do you think race 2 was just so calm compared to the first one?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I don't know if it was. You would think it'd be less calm with the invert, you know, put some of the faster guys in the back, but I don't know. It just maybe everybody's got a little bit more comfortable. If I had to guess, I think a lot of people didn't expect it to be as loose as it was because, you know, the trucks aren't known for being real super loose and racy like that. So, but I'm happy to see that.
Well, thank your sponsors. Congrats on the win. Race 2 at Michigan.
Yes, sir. Huge thanks to Aspiration Homes and to Sim Racer Hub, and thanks to you guys for broadcasting.
There you go, winner of race number 2, flag to flag tonight at Michigan, the 27 Toyota, Gabriel Ellison, joining Nick Gowen from race number 1 as he finished 7th in race number 2. Let's go to Michael Sturgill Jr., the 90 Chevrolet, up there all night long, just kind of fell a little bit short, but nothing wrong with Silver. Good points night to start the opening rounds of the Winter Series. You're taking the race, Michael.
Yeah, I'll definitely, I think I finished 4th and then 2nd, so I'll definitely take that. Second race, I was just trying to get up to the front and then chill, which is what I did. Gabe had the clean air. I don't know if I would assume it helped him a bit. But I didn't really want to get too racy with him. I know he was probably saving his tires too, so I kind of wanted to ride around with him till the end, and then at the end it was just, I don't think there's any way I could get around him.
Yeah, congratulations, Michael, on finishing 2nd here tonight. And obviously, you just talked about the clean air, like I said before, and like you just said as well. And even if you were to have a nose in there, I mean, we saw that top lane off the corner was just really strong all night, but that bottom in the corners was just really, really strong. Do you think there was any particular line you would have wanted to try to get around Gabe there for the win?
I was thinking about trying the top, but I had Ryan right behind me too, so I didn't want it to not work and Ryan get his nose under me, and then I'd be racing him for, you know, 2nd. So I was just hoping I could ride behind Gabe and maybe he might make a mistake, because I know he looked a little loose, and he said, we were talking prior, he said his tire wear was worse than what mine was on the right rear, but he kept it together nicely and held on to 1st.
Michael, do you think we're going to see this type of race that obviously tonight to help you prepare for the craziness that Talladega will provide of the Twin 30s next week?
Talladega is always crazy.
yeah.
It might have helped a little bit. At least at Talladega, you're not usually, you know, dancing the car through the corners, so maybe Talladega might be a little calmer than, well, at least the first race. The second race, I think that restart kind of got everyone spread out, and that's why the second race was so calm.
All right, buddy. Thank your sponsors. 2nd tonight.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys up in the booth for putting on a great broadcast, all the admins of the league. I've never ran a league put on like this. It's fun to do a couple short races and invert the field and all that. Everyone watching, and Moscow Joe's on the truck. And I think that's got it.
Chevrolet number 90, Michael Sturgill Jr. finished 4th in race number 1. second here in race number 2 here tonight at Motor City Mayhem at Michigan. Ryan Bloom, always great catching up with you, buddy, from the Northwest Racing Series. One of those guys that were both in the truck and the Xfinity playoffs, and I see no time for you being off. You're taking being on the podium here tonight. What a wild race at Michigan. A lot of chances you had to pick up the win.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I kind of butchered that first race there at the end. Really got tight there at the end and had to get off the throttle and just lost a lot of momentum and just kind of stuck there on the bottom. So didn't really finish like I was hoping to there. But second race was a lot better. Like I said, there was no cautions, but just trying to get to the front. I actually followed Michael up there to the front there towards the beginning of the race, and like they both said, the setup is just really loose, and I just kind of want to get in there behind those two and kind of ride there till the end. And I didn't have anything for them at the end. There's just no rear grip. It was just really, I tried there on the top, but I had nothing. I almost lost it coming out of there on 4. So I was just happy to bring it home third. But it was a lot of fun, stepping out of my Northwest Series comfort zone. Used to racing those guys. That's the only league I've ever done. So something new for me, and it was a lot of fun. Get out there and race.
Brian, it'll make you become a better iRacer, though, don't you think, as a competitor, taking on this new competition, some new names and different personalities for sure than what you see for 20-some-odd weeks out of the Northwest every year?
Yeah, for sure. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do it. Just seat time, and especially in the fixed sets. I don't do a lot of fixed sets, so I wasn't expecting to be this loose because I'm always expecting the fixed sets to be tighter, but. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Just trying to get better, like I always am. So, looking forward to the rest of the season.
Sponsors.
Just want to thank Aspiration Homes, you guys, for putting on another great broadcast. Looking forward to watching that back, and Sim Racer Hub.
Jason, you got something, buddy? Go ahead.
Yeah, and Ryan, I was just going to ask you there, with those two races, obviously, usually a lot of people would probably think that these would be the same, but the first race was drastically different than that second race there. Were you surprised that it was a lot more tame and calm compared to the first?
Yeah, a little bit. Like Michael said, I think that restart kind of got things spread out a little bit, kind of jumped the gun there a little bit. People weren't expecting it. I sure wasn't. So I was kind of lagging there behind going into turn 1. But so I think that definitely kind of contributed to that. But overall, it was a lot of fun. It's just, I think, like they both said, the looseness of the setup, I don't think people are expecting. So
there you go. Well, Ryan, always great catching up with you, bud. And on behalf of all of our crew at LSRTV, have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you next Tuesday night.
All right, thanks, guys.
There you go.
Happy Thanksgiving.
That's exactly right. Ryan Bloom will finish in the third spot again. No, to what? No caution flags, obviously, in race number 2 for race 1. And, of course, Nick Gowen, winner of race 1. Gabriel Ellison, winner of race 2. Hey, real quickly, let's thank our sponsors one more time that make it happen for the SimRacerHub.com Challenge Winner Series. Again, Aspiration Homes. We appreciate them being a sponsor and the entitlement sponsor here tonight at Motor City Mayhem. Thank you also to the folks at Delta Carburetors. Thank you also to the people involved, including also Admin Box. We apologize that the graphic is a PNG, but with all of the grandstands and all the colors, it was hard to recognize what that second one was. But anyhow, Jason, your final take of racing, brother. We're going to gobble down some turkey here in a few days, and we'll get ready for Talladega next Tuesday night. Your take of this series, bud.
Yeah, man, fun to absolutely see these guys put on one heck of a show here for us for not only one, but 2 30-lap sprints to the finish. I'm really excited to see the potential of this series, and I'm really excited to call it here for this winter.
Going to be a fun one, of course. Again, Motor City Mayhem here tonight at Michigan. Just the start. We'll be at Talladega next week for Twin 30s again. That'll be fun. Check us out, as always, at your home for Sim Race at livesimracing.com, iRacing.com, and Sim Racer Hub Challenge on Facebook. For Rocket Racing Media, LSRTV's Charles Wooten and Jeff Stabnow. For Jason Rockefeller, this is Wesley Outland wishing you a happy Turkey Murder Day. Enjoy it with your family and loved ones. And we'll be back next Tuesday night, Talladega, with the SimRacerHub.com Challenge Winter Series. Be good.